Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hobbits, trying more Barley Wember beers. This one that's been in the cellar for a bit that I should have gotten to earlier, but it's one of those beers that ended up sitting for a bit. But a little while back, I got a beer mail from Dennis from Nemeton Brewing because he helped me get the Stweeze Octopussy, the Octomore barrel-aged Black Damnation, and he also helped me get a bottle of their Zombination in Octomore barrels, both of which were awesome. I still have the bottle of Octopussy. I want to try and compare it to a fresh one because they just did a fresh one. But on top of that, he also sent a lot of his own beers because he's a brewery called Nemeton Brewing. And for some reason, just I guess being overloaded with beer, I didn't get around to trying any of them until now. And we're trying the very first beer from him now. So thanks a ton for the beer, Dennis. He actually also recently sent me a boatload of mead to try that he started making, so thanks for that. But this is from Amazon. This is also a brewery from the Netherlands, and this is their Ritual #1 opening ceremony. So that is a barley wine because it's Barley Wember, and it's interesting because it's English style barley wine, but it's a little bit different. It is enhanced with botanicals and spices. It doesn't state which ones, but it says that we at Nemeton Brewing believe the brewing process is a ritual, just like the Celtic and Germanic druids perform rituals at their Nemeton ritual place in the wood. That's what Nemeton means. So this is the first in the ritual series. I'm not sure if it's the actual first beer. It's just the first in the ritual series. So it's a rich, full-body English barley wine, as it says, with those botanicals. But I wonder if I could spot somewhere. It says it ages well too. It's just spices and blossom. So some kind of flower, I guess. Interesting. We'll see how this one turns out. And some metal themed artwork on that one too. Looks dope. Let's give it a whirl. Check it out. Pours a nice golden brown color. Look at that. Looks pretty dope to me. It looks like a barley wine. It's quite highly carbonated, it seems, as well. Like, there is a decent level of fizz to the beer. But other than that, it looks nice. Tan head, let's check out the aroma. Ooh, yeah, it smells pretty good. There's almost something that reminds me of juniper in here. Like it seems a little bit Scandinavian. Caramel, toffee, almost like a little bit of a black tea. Could be hops. I think it says here, he says as well, like it has a decent amount of hops. Bitter, it says at least. But it's been in the cellar for a while. Let's see, is there a bottled on date? 2017 was when I didn't get this in 2017, don't worry. I didn't hold on to it for that long. But, I can't find when this was bottled. So a lot of sediment in the bottle too, bottom too. We're not going to pour that in. 13%, 10.8%. Forgot to mention that. Okay, it doesn't say 50 IBUs. That's why I'm spelling hops. So also quite a hoppy barley wine. But yeah, okay, I can't find a bottling date. Well, anywho, it smells nice. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, and thanks to Dennis for the beer. Really highly drinkable barley wine. Not as rich as a lot of modern ones. There's like this interesting juniper thing to it. Spice, warming spice. There's almost like something in here that reminds me a bit of like a Belgian strong dark ale. And maybe that's because of botanicals and herbs. Or botanicals and spices. There's also some buck vibes to it. I think there might be some caramel Munich malt or something in here because there's a bit of like that Munich malt breadiness. Actually, that's a thing these days. Munich wines, which is a new thing. Apparently, some people in the US coined. But I think it's good. It's a good entry-level barley wine. It's not like super rich. It's not like super decadent. It's malt forward with some fun, like herby, as I said, like it's tea to me. It's juniper for some reason, which could be hops that create those flavors. Almost like a little bit woodsy, so to speak, but not like heavily so. Almost like a bit of Coca-Cola vibe. Actually, it feels a little bit Coca-Cola-like because of the fizz. Yeah, I really think it could be richer. I mean, for an almost 11% beer, it's quite dry. I personally like it a bit richer, at least with beers these days. Bitterness being 50 IBUs, quite well balanced. It's not like crazy bitter, but there is something in the end finishing. I think it's a pretty decent barley wine. I'll also say I'm not like super stoked about it, but it's nice. There's a little bit of a green apple to it as well. But it's funny with all this like kind of spice nuance. Also like just like a little bit of a warm spice feel. It reminds me of phenolics. There's something that just reminds me of Belgian beer for some reason as well. Like a Belgian strong dark ale or something. And that Coca-Cola thing. It's got some interesting flavors, but it's a very light barley wine. It's some would say thin, I think, comparing it to modern standards. But since this is also apparently one of the first beers from Nemeton, I shouldn't be too harsh on it. But it's also not a bad beer at all. It's well-made beer. It tastes nice. It tastes like how it's supposed to taste. And then it's got those extra additions. But it's not just something I'm super excited about. Um, there is, yeah, that. I think it's also because it's heavily carved and those like there's a little bit of dark fruit maybe too, but there's just flavors in here that just reminds me of Belgian beer for something like almost like a Belgian barley wine. I don't know where that comes from, although it's like an English style in terms of how it's made, but it must be the addition of botanicals and spices. But it's not half bad. In terms of a grade, hmm, red apple skins. There's almost like a little bit of a tannic thing, but I think that's hops. It's all right, like early 80s to me. 84, 83, mid 80s maybe. I mean, 83, yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not half bad, but it's also not super interesting, to be 100% honest, to me. Like, I want more layers, more complexity, more richness, personally. But I think it's a good beginner barley wine. I think it's also a nicely made beer. There's no off flavors, there's no flaws or anything. So, well made stuff, Dennis. It's just, for me, a personal preference thing in terms of the style. But hey, we're trying some stuff that is different as well for barley wine. But we've got some more different barley wines that, like, I think it's the only one with actual with adjuncts. But we also got some. Uh, oh no, book. I think that might be adjuncted. Let's see. But yeah, if you guys had a chance to try Nemeton's Ritual #1 opening ceremony, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton to Dennis for the beer. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm gonna say cheers. Yep. In delicious barley wine, and see you in another beer review.